Aloha, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 94 on YouTube. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for listening to these episodes, most of these episodes, or maybe some of these episodes. And if you've been liking and subscribing to this channel, thank you. I also have the same podcast on Spotify. And if you just listen to those episodes, or like those episodes, follow the podcast. That's always appreciated as well. And if you go and click on the link on the Spotify episode, um, it gives you a chance to make a small donation. If you feel like making a donation towards this podcast, it'll be very, very appreciated. So, on this episode, guys, since it's episode 94, I just wanted to make some quick predictions about UFC Fight Night. Where is it? Oh, yeah, they're in Las Vegas. Again, UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the NBA Finals Game 1 and a little preview for the Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 happening on Saturday. Also, I did go to an AEW event in San Diego at Viejas Arena at the SDSU campus. And let's talk about all that stuff. And let's get started. So, UFC Fight Night Las Vegas. Main event is a flyweight fight between Cara France and albazi. This one should be a good fight, exciting fight. It's going to be a lot of fast-paced action, a lot of striking going on. Honestly, um, this fight can go either way. I mean, I've seen Cara France fight, and it's impressive. Um, but honestly, there's something about albazi. So albazi, um, he has this amazing 16-1 record, and while Cara France has 24-10, and does have a big name under his belt, but I feel like Albazi might pull out the victory in this one. It might be by, I want to say, good chance it might be by decision. So this fight might actually go 5 rounds, and I think Albazi will probably win. Um, will win on points. Unanimous decision over Cara France. So I look forward to that fight. That fight is going to be, see, the main card here in the Pacific time zone will start at 6 o'clock, while the entire card will start at 3 our time. Now, the game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals is actually going to start around 5 o'clock, so if I can somehow manage to watch both at the same time, I probably could. I'll probably have the big TV on the fights, and then I'll probably have, um, I guess no, that's not gonna work. I probably would want to be around a TV, maybe at a bar. So I might have to go to a bar. So I probably should look for a bar actually. Um, which is actually funny because it's the perfect way to watch the Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 and the Padres game. So I could be going to um, a new haircut, guys. You like it? Um, I don't know. Maybe I might stop by Knockless Tavern in La Jolla to watch the Stanley Cup Finals Game 1 and the Padres. And maybe they might have the UFC Fight Night as well. So have all three at the same time. and have some good food. It's a nice area too. Um, honestly, should be a good Saturday for sports action. And honestly, you know, it's going to be a lot of stimulation. You got UFC fights going on, Stanley Cup Finals action going on, and the Padres baseball going on. So, Padres baseball against the Cubs. Well, hopefully the Padres do better for the rest of the weekend because they started off with a loss, 2-1 at home to the Cubs today. So that's kind of unfortunate. Coming off of a winning road trip, they were 5-4 on their 9-game road trip. It didn't come easy though, but Manny Machado is back on the Padres, so um, hopefully they do better this weekend. But let's get back into the OC. Let's make some more predictions. I've already said Albazi will beat Cara France. Um, Next up, we have a featherweight fight between Caceres, who is basically named Bruce Leroy. Um, he is the favorite going into this fight against, I think his name is Daniel Pieta. And Pieta is the underdog, but I think that Pieta will beat Caceres in this one. Um, honestly, you know, it actually might be the fight might be decided on the ground actually, if Pieta can actually get him on the ground. So Caceres, I think you might have a couple of ways to win the fight, but I don't feel too confident about Caceres' fight skills. And given that he is always a big fan of Bruce Lee and made that well known, but um, just this time I don't think I can pick him to win. He's shown a lot of times that he can lose a fight, and um, he just can't string together long periods of like winning and stuff. So I feel like Pieta is going to be able to beat him. But honestly, this actually might be on points again. So I'm picking Pieta. Um, Pieta to defeat Caceres. And then you have a lightweight fight between old man Jim Miller. He's going up against Butler. Um, you know, I think I'm still gonna pick Jim Miller for this one. He seems to keep finding ways to win fights. um, I don't know what it is, because like normally I would pick a newer fighter, a younger fighter, but Jim Miller keeps turning back the clock and just beating all these guys. Um, guys that are not ranked, but guys that you would think that younger guys should beat the older guys, because the older guys, when they fight too long, you can tell that they're not as good as when they were younger. But for some strange reason, Jim Miller still keeps racking up the victories. Um, so yeah, Jim Miller over Butler. Next up, we have a flyweight fight between Tim Elliott, and he's going up against Outer Miriano. Murano. Oh, I mean, I've seen Tim Elliott fight, but I don't know. I don't buy it. And so I'm going to pick Alta Murano for this one. Next up, we have a women's flyweight fight between Silva, who is the favorite, going up against Salza, the underdog. Ooh, this one should be a good one. A good fight. Yeah, we'll probably last all 3 rounds. Let's go with Silva. Um, and then the first fight on the main card is a welterweight fight between Norma Gormedov, who is a slight favorite in this one, going up against Zaleski dos Santos, slight underdog. Oh, this one is going to be an interesting fight. Um, oh, it's going to be a hard one to pick. Mm, hmm. Let's go with Norma Gomedov. He'll pull out the victory. I have a feeling it's going to be a 15 round chess match, really. Um, and then we got the featured prelim fight in the bantamweight division. You got Santos versus Munoz. Um, this one's gonna be a tough one. Hmm. But I think Munoz is gonna beat Santos in this one, even though Santos is the favorite. Um, Next we have a heavyweight fight with UFC former champion and veteran Andrei Arlovsky. He's going up against Mays. Mm, Honestly, I don't know why Arlovsky is still fighting, but sometimes he finds a way to win. And honestly, you know, I'm gonna pick Arlovsky to win this one. Um, just something about a guy with his experience, and for a guy that he's facing, doesn't seem like maybe a versatile fighter to be able to beat a veteran like Arlovsky, but this one might be Arlovsky's fight to win. So Arlovsky, you better not make me look bad. Next up, we have a bantamweight fight between Castaneda and Gar Garfurov. Um, Castaneda is the favorite in this one, but not by too much. Uh, I think Castaneda is going to win this one. Next up, we have a lightweight fight between Malarkey. He's the heavy favorite in this one, going up against Naimov. Um, I think Malarkey will pull it out. Next, we have a fight in the strawweight division, women's strawweight. You got Reed, who's a slight favorite, going up against Frey. Um, ew. I guess I'm picking Reed to win this one. Um, I mean, it can go either way, but I'm leaning towards Reed. And then next up, we have a bantamweight fight between Blacksheard and Lacerda. Um, this one's gonna be an interesting one. I would say Lacerda should win this one. And then we got the opener to the UFC Fight Night card. It's a light heavyweight fight between the slight underdog Lins, 16-5, and you got the I guess it's a veteran, uh, uh, Grishin, 32-9-2. He's a slight favorite though. Um, I guess I'm picking Grishin to win this one. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas, Saturday night in Las Vegas. Um, I I want to also talk about the game one of the NBA Finals. Um, the 8th seed of the East, your Eastern Conference champions, the Miami Heat, They came to Denver, who is the number one seed of the Western Division, Western Conference, your Western Conference champions. And for a team that had 9 days more off than, let's see, so the Denver Nuggets last played on May 22nd, and game one of the NBA Finals was on June 1st. So that's 9 days off for the Denver Nuggets. While the Miami Heat, they had played on Monday to win Game 7 against the Boston Celtics, since that took longer because the Denver Nuggets actually swept the Lakers 4-0, so they had more time off. But given that the Miami Heat got it together and they defeated the Boston Celtics on their home court, they actually won 3 of the 4 games in Boston. That's quite impressive. And the fact that they only got really 2 days off, no games to play. And um Miami tried to keep it close, but honestly, the Denver Nuggets kept answering every single rally the Miami Heat had throughout the game. And so the Miami Heat could not get any closer, um, no closer than 9 points. So your Denver Nuggets defeated the Miami Heat 104-93. So Denver is up 1 game to 0 in the best of 7 in the NBA Finals Championship. And game 2 is Sunday night around 5:30. I'm gonna try to find a place probably close to Solana Beach because I have a comedy show to go to Sunday night at the Belly Up in Solana Beach. That was a 9 o'clock show. So the game should probably end around 8. So that gives me a chance to kind of uh, find a Belly Up and hang around there and enjoy myself for the comedy show because Adam Carolla is headlining along with Brad Williams, and you have your feature comic Kim Bo-soon. So that should be fun to watch. And then you have the NBA Finals before that. Um, so yeah, honestly, I think Denver looked very impressive for a team that should have been rusty, but um, I really hope the series goes 7 games and maybe the Miami Heat will win. But the way things are going, there's a good chance the Denver Nuggets um, might actually win much earlier than 7 games. So unless the Miami Heat can figure out how to guard Murray and Jokic, but if they don't, this might be a quick NBA Finals. Um, the Stanley Cup Finals is starting on Saturday night around 5 or so. And Golden Knights of Vegas are going to be hosting the Florida Panthers for games 1 and 2. Um, I mean, the Golden Knights, they were basically, I guess you could say they were the number one team in the Western Conference. And the Florida Panthers are the worst of the playoff teams in the Eastern Conference. So essentially, this is, you know, a number 2 versus number 16, basically. So I don't know how that became because it's the same thing like the NBA playoffs with the Denver Nuggets is technically your number 4 seed because they had the fourth best record because the top 3 in the NBA were all from the Eastern Conference. And um, I don't know. I think the Miami Heat had I guess you could say maybe the second to worst playoff record going in. So I guess technically that makes the Miami Heat the number 16 seed and or 15 seed, and then the Denver Nuggets, I believe they were number 4. uh, so yeah, I really do hope the Panthers beat the Golden Knights because now for some reason, I know there's a Golden Knights fan, and I would have been a fan of the Golden Knights, but now that my buddy, who's a comic, he's a real avid Golden Knights fan, I kind of want to see the Panthers beat the Golden Knights. Kind of stick it to my friend. Um, Honestly, the reason being is because my LA Kings were eliminated by the Edmonton Oilers and the Golden Knights, the Vegas Golden Knights, the last few seasons. So, like 3 seasons in a row now. So, yeah, I get kind of biased about my LA Kings. So, I really don't want the Golden Knights or the Edmonton Oilers to win it. So, since the Golden Knights are still alive, I don't want them to win. So, by default, I'm rooting for the Florida Panthers. There's a good chance the Florida Panthers might actually win the series, actually. But Golden Knights might be able to be the match that is even for the Panthers. And who knows, Golden Knights might actually win their first. And the fact that they've been in existence for, like, was it 4 years? That's quite impressive. Um, so, yeah, I would say game one will probably go to the Panthers. So, um, good luck to the Panthers. If they can pull it off, it's about the same impressive feat that the LA Kings did when they were the number 8 seed in the Western Conference, and they ran the tables and they had one of the best runs in playoff history. They've only lost like a total of like 3 games or something in 4 rounds. So it's kind of impressive. Um, to have the worst team to make the playoffs and they actually make a run for the championship, and the LA Kings did that in 2012, and now in 2023, the Florida Panthers might be pulling off the same feat. So let's see what happens against the Golden Knights. That should be a lot of fun to watch. Um, Uh, San Diego Padres, I already mentioned, they already lost to the Cubs, but they have a 3 game series, I think, with Chicago Cubs. So hopefully the Padres will win Saturday and Sunday and salvage the series over the weekend. So that should be busy downtown. Um, uh, I don't know if I mentioned it. Um, I did get to watch Night of Champions WWE, and that was a fun premium live event. You got what was it? You got a fun, good quality matchup for the new World Heavyweight Championship final between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. It was a good match overall. I liked how it went, but I didn't like how the ending happened. It was kind of slow for the ending to develop, and um, Seth Rollins got the curb stomp. Uh, it wasn't the the development of the ending to that match wasn't too impressive, so I didn't like that part. Um, Honestly, I would give that like a 8.8 out of 10 for the match. Um, I mean, the ending could have been a little better, especially if you're going to have Seth Rollins win the World Heavyweight Championship, which, by the way, is a very nice looking championship title. It's like the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, but then um, slight modifications, and then you put the WWE logo on top of that um, World Heavyweight Championship um, montage to the old one. So looks really nice. Looks really cool. You can only imagine it's gonna cost $500 to have a replica belt like that. So I checked. um, and then I think the next match was Trish versus Becky Lynch. That one was an alright match. I felt like Becky Lynch might have had to accommodate a lot for Trish Stratus because she has been out of the ring. She's not a full time wrestler, but uh, I would say the match was probably a 7 out of 10. Zoe Stark did help out, interfered, and helped Trish beat Becky Lynch. Um, I think Trish and Becky will have another rematch and maybe a trilogy. But I have a feeling that Becky's going to win the next two now that Trish won the first one. So next up, I believe we have, I think it was Gunther defending his Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali. That was actually a decent match. Um, I'd probably say it's a 8 out of 10. Gunther won with the power bomb, his signature double kick lead into the power bomb. So um, Mustafa Ali did have his 450 splash, but Gunther already kicked out of it, and Gunther looks impressive. I want to see how long he can go as Intercontinental Champion, and eventually will face the World Heavyweight Champion. So let's see what happens with that. Um, but yeah, that match, yeah, I would say an 8 out of 10. Um, Next, we have Bianca Belair defending her, I guess it's her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. And if you guys are keeping tab, the Raw Women's Championship is actually on SmackDown. So, can you believe that? And then the SmackDown Women's Championship is actually on Raw. Can you believe that? Um, yeah, I would say it's a decent match between Asuka and Bianca because Asuka, she's been trying out this blue mist that she spit in the face of Bianca Belair and it stings a lot. So she tried to do it again in this championship match, but Asuka did something smart because she realized that she can't spit spray um, Bianca because I think Bianca's like anticipating that and she'll turn away. But Asuka sprayed her hands or spit into her hands the blue mist. And so she kind of waited for Bianca to pick her up to do her finisher. But because the finisher does not actually lock down Asuka's arms in any way, it just holds her up, um, starting from her back. But the thing is, because the two arms are not locked in, Asuka gets to rub her mist fingers on Bianca's eyes, and that was enough of a distraction because then Asuka gets to do her head kick that she's known for, and that one was good enough to get the 1, 2, 3. And Asuka is your new Raw Women's Champion on SmackDown. So I think it was time that Bianca would have lost her title at this point, and Asuka is a very good champion to replace her. So um, I like to see Asuka be champion for a lot longer. So we'll see what happens. The match itself, I thought it was a 8.4 out of 10. So a lot of good spots. A lot of pulling on the long hair of Bianca Belair. I wonder how long she's going to have that long hair for, actually. That's just impressive. Um, and I guess the next match, I believe it's, I want to say Rhea Ripley and Natalia. That match was pretty short. I think it only lasted like maybe 2 minutes. It basically started with a distraction by Dominic Mysterio, got Natalia to be distracted, and Rhea Ripley attacked her from behind, knocked her outside, um, and got her back inside the ring after being outside, and Rhea Ripley got the riptide on Natalia for the 1, 2, 3. Felt like it was 2 minutes. Oh, very quick match. The squash. I don't think Natalia had any offense whatsoever. So I'm kind of curious of who Rhea Ripley is going to fight next. Um, if she's going to be on Raw. If she's going to be on Raw, but has the SmackDown Women's Championship. Um, honestly, uh, maybe someone on the women's roster might be able to put up a fight. But I don't know. There's a Money in the Bank premium live event coming up, and if Bianca happens to win that briefcase that's on top of the ladder, she can actually challenge either of the women's champions, really, actually, or even the NXT championship too, because Charlotte did it one time with the Money in the Briefcase. So, um, I mean, Bianca could actually go after Rhea Ripley for her SmackDown Women's Championship, and just head on over to Raw and to do that. So, um, but yeah, the squash, I guess, because it was a quick match, a squash. I would rate the Natalia Rhea Ripley match to be kind of a 7.3 out of 10. Um, I mean, I don't like squash matches that much because, you should dedicate at least 10 minutes to a match, but it is what it is. Um, and then we got the Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Uh, it's their rematch. And this match actually went on for more than 10 minutes, so I actually liked it. Um, uh, it's just that I liked seeing Cody Rhodes do some of his signature moves, like the Cody Cutter and the Crossroads, and using his cast on his arm, the one that Brock Lesnar broke his arm. Um, used that as a weapon, but Brock Lesnar not only did he get the F5 in there and a few German suplexes, but he had tried it a couple of times to get the Kimura lock on Cody Rhodes, and the last one made Cody pass out. So, and that's your victory for Brock Lesnar. Um, so Brock Lesnar with the victory that puts the series between Cody and Brock at 1-1. And it looks like Cody wants to challenge Brock Lesnar for the rubber match, the trilogy, um, and try to end this rivalry. Gonna once and for all. So um, I like to see what kind of match they're gonna do for that one. Whether it's going to be a straight match or it could be a special match. So I'm going to tune in, and that match between Brock and Cody, I would say